take us home. Did Giannis, your guy, prove he's the best player in the world?
Giannis being his best has encouraged me to be my best. So I got to bring my best take in the first part of the show.
Well, let's go.
Giannis did prove he was and is the best player in the world, and I will simplify it for all of you. The NBA Finals contains two of the best teams. Thus, it contains two of the best coaches and some of the best players. Okay. If the best players on the Phoenix Suns roster, one of the best teams, playing at their best, could not stop an individual, then that means that the individual who beat the best, playing at their best, must be the best. Because the only way to beat the best at their best is if you are better than them. So what can be better than the best at their best? The best. I just simplified all this for all of y'all.
Simple, but
Giannis is the best player in the world because he beat what should be the best team playing at their best. Stop the show. Are we done?
Are we?
Check. Can somebody
put your feet back up? Let's go. You know.
That's all that has to be said.
Nike's so happy right now.
And I look at it like this.
Man, please.
Giannis came out and played a better game than any player has played this season in the biggest game of any game this season.
Nice tweet. Yeah, you're right on that.
You feel me?
I feel that.
I got so much, hopefully, intellectual jargon to try to manipulate you all's minds with. God. But the fact of the matter is, he played the best game of the season in the biggest game of the season. Best player in the world. Last thing on my first lap, because I could do the whole show on this conversation.
And you're not by yourself. Let's go.
Last thing on my first lap is, I declared Kevin Durant the best player in the world after Game 5 of the conference semifinals, Eastern Conference. Why did I do that? I did that because at that point in time, I said that Kevin Durant did something that I don't think any other player could have done. He gave us 49, 17, and some change. I said nobody else could have done that. LeBron James couldn't have done it. He can't give you enough points right now, especially not at that point in health. Luka couldn't have done it because Luka in the fourth quarter, we saw how he begins to wane. I said nobody else could have done what Kevin Durant did, so he was the best player in the world. Well, after watching Giannis drop 50, 14 in a closeout game, a player has not dropped 50 points in a closeout game since 1958, since TVs were in black and white and our country was as well. Giannis dropped 50 in a closeout game. Nobody else in the league could have had 50, 14, plus 5 blocks. Plus 5 blocks. Best player in the world. There's no question.
Man, I couldn't pull this off what you pulling off right now. If I rooted for black people as much as you rooting for this Nigerian homeboy of yours, I'll be off the air immediately. But I ain't mad at it. Have your pride, big dog. Giannis looked amazing yesterday. But Giannis is not the best player in the world. And I'm not even going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. Giannis is going to argue with you because Giannis saw the best player in the world. And remember when he said, Kevin Durant's the best player in the world. Simple as that. I don't know how he sounds, but he said those exact same words. When he was not looking in the mirror, he was looking face to face at what the best looks like. So individually, to answer this question, should I do what you did? Hey, is it over? I ain't got nothing else to do.
If you had KD's on, you could.
I know. I got on some old LeBron Adidas. Old LeBron Adidas. Let me say this. I got to take the man for his word. He already told me Kevin Durant's better than him. They saw each other. Kevin Durant outperformed him in that series. However, his team didn't outperform Giannis's team. Okay, but let's have some fun, because that's kind of boring if we just do that. And now, coming up in commercial. So let's talk about this. How much better Kevin Durant is than Giannis. Because you want to go team. I know how you try to move. You try to maneuver. You try to hide. If you beat the best when they're supposed to be the best, then you're the best.
I thought you said how much better Kevin Durant is than Giannis. I think this broke. I might need a new one of these.
It's broke? Oh, maybe what it's in is broke. Called your head, your brain, and your ears, and that wax. Phoenix wasn't the best team this year. First of all, they weren't even the number 1 seed. Were they the number 1 seed in the West Conference? They weren't the best team. They weren't their best version of themselves in the finals. I give a lot of that credit, if not all, to Giannis and the Bucks for making them look less than they were. But they were never declared the best. We're going to get into this, but let's talk about Phoenix in December 22nd, when the season started. Remember that day? When you were saying Phoenix is going to be in the no, you didn't say that. They got Chris Paul and Phoenix, a non-playoff team. What is Phoenix going to become? Remember those days. We'll talk about that later. But let's get back to the question. Giannis, he didn't prove jack in this conversation of best player in the world. Why? Because Kevin Durant still exists. KD career playoff averages 29.5 points per game. What about you, Giannis? 26. Let's talk about your regular season averages. Because I ain't going to just go score because I know where you like to go and push me. 27. What is Giannis? Barely over 20. Oh, okay. Forget all that. Let's talk about right now because this is what we're talking about in the postseason. Damn, Giannis. You weren't even a top 5 scorer in the postseason. Where were you? Kevin Durant was second, and he got exited earlier than you. Damn, Giannis. How about steals per game? Giannis, you know he out there always with his athleticism. Damn, KD had more steals per game than you. What about three-pointers? Yep, KD. What about free throws? Yep, KD. Let's talk about everything, KD. Oh, my God, this is insane. Blocks per game. Blocks? Giannis, Mr. A. KD blocks more per game than even Giannis. So on my first lap, just to save some ammunition, because I know you're going to fire back, I don't see why we should believe you over Giannis, who told me KD's the best player in the world, because he actually is.
You know your opponent has lost an argument when you smile through all of their conjecture. The best players this league has ever seen, I will name a few of them. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal. Some of the best players our league, the NBA, has ever seen.
I got you.
The best players the league has ever seen at their best, in the most pivotal moments, all got outplayed by Giannis at his best in the most pivotal moment.
Like who?
We have a full screen to back it up because closeout games in the NBA Finals, the biggest moment of the best player's career. LeBron's best closeout game in the Finals, he gave you 41 and 13. Phenomenal. Shaq, he gave you 41 and 12. So impressive. Michael Jordan, Game 6, 98 against the Jazz. He gave you 45 and 1. Still amazing. Steal, Karl Malone, bucket, push off, not push off, who knows? Magic Johnson, 42 and 15, 1980. Had to replace Kareem, if I'm not mistaken. Started at the center position. Amazing.
That's it.
The best players, those were their best performances. But above all of those, you see one, Giannis. Ugo, 50 and 14. So, what? If Giannis last night, most recently, played better than the best players this game has ever seen at their best, it would not be idiotic, because I'm not going to imply that you're an idiot. I wouldn't do that to you.
You just said it twice.
It would not be imbecilic, because I'm not going to imply that you're an imbecile. I wouldn't do that to you. It would not be stupid, because I'm not going to imply that you're stupid. I wouldn't do that to you. But it would surely be asinine. It would surely be asinine to say that Giannis, who outplayed the best players the game has ever seen at their best, isn't better than anybody else currently playing.
Man, stop this. Acho, you're so poetic with your wordsmith. I understand how you manipulate the English language. But since you saved your best for last, Giannis, doesn't mean you're the best in totality. He saved his best for last. Closeout game. I respect that. But don't act like the entire race, he was the best in this conversation. If you're rooting for him, which I know you are, you got on the shoes, all you're going to do is expose yourself. Like, it literally left his lips that someone's better than him. But you're going to make an argument that he was lying to himself.
Well, we know that means nothing.
No, we know that means everything, because no one ever does that. We even have Stacks on here like, man, you can't admit that dude. You know how Stacks talk in that shoe closet. Oh, it's foggy. He's like, man, you can't let no other dude know that you're better than you. And I was like, yeah, you can if he is. And you were arguing with Stacks. Giannis already answered this conversation and this question. He survived the war of attrition the greatest. That's all he did this year. And that needs to be commended. That needs to be fully respected. But don't act like he didn't see somebody who was better than him. I don't have a full screen. I let my words do the speaking. Giannis saw Kevin Durant in the Eastern Conference semis. 35 points versus 31. Rebounds, Giannis got him by 2. He should have him by more. Assists, damn. KD got more assists, and he got a better point guard? Whatever. Field goal percentage, Giannis should beat him, and he did, because he's bigger, and he stays in the paint more because he's limited. But then three-point percentage, free throw percentage, steals, and blocks, KD, baby. Man, Kevin Durant's just better than Giannis. Now, imagine as you always used to do. You stopped doing this. Early in our show, you used to do this. Imagine if KD was on the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, my God. It wouldn't even be a conversation. Imagine KD had some help when he saw Giannis. Oh, my God, it wouldn't have been a conversation. Matter of fact, it wasn't. They were up 2-0, and then we saw Kyrie go down in the third game. James Harden in and out with the hamstring. The point being, I'm not even trying to have an argument. I'm trying to hear an argument that tells me that Giannis is better than KD. Ask Jay Williams. Oh, we can't. No, wrong network. Don't say that. Jay Williams already spilled the beans on this one. KD said, don't compare me to that dude because he's not compared to me.
So oftentimes, I've done this. I don't know about you, but I feel like you've done this as well. I might say somebody better than me.
Who?
No, not necessarily true. I'm just trying to be humble. But even if I'm not trying to be humble, I wasn't lying. I was telling my truth in the moment. Giannis may not have been lying.
Okay.
In that moment, Kevin Durant might have been a better player than Giannis. But in this moment, on Wednesday, July 21st of 2021, Giannis is a better player than KD. We keep saying that KD didn't have no help. Harden gave KD 22 points in Game 7.
He was hamstrung with a hamstring.
And whatever he was, he gave him 22 points. Meanwhile, Jrue Holiday was 4 for 19 yesterday, 12 points. Chris Middleton was 6 for 13 yesterday, 17 points.
That's
Giannis
one game. I
was
said
16
series.
of 25.
I said
okay,
series.
great. You did say series.
Yeah,
You're right.
I
It's my
said
mistake. KD had 35 points in a more meaningless series than Giannis had 35 points in a more meaningful series. So if I were actually going to contort this, which I'm going to do, I'm just going to...
What do you mean, actually?
All I'm going to do is I'm going to call my punch and then I'm still going to throw it and watch it land. I would say this. Giannis was calculated enough to be able to do less and still beat KD, then reserve enough to do more and win a chip while KD's been at home for roughly a month and change right now. Sir, I'm not going to slight Kevin Durant's greatness on the court. I'm not going to do that. But what KD did in a semifinal, Giannis just did in an NBA Finals. And you comparing apples to oranges, big dog. KD did great in semis, but Giannis did that and more in a bigger game. Big-time players, big-time plays, big-time games. There's no bigger-time player than Giannis Antetokounmpo.
What? And when you forget about KD, I understand why you forget because you're a prisoner in the moment right now because Giannis played last night. And like you said, KD hasn't played in a month. But I saw KD go through a finals, and I saw KD go for 30-plus points, like Giannis, with a 50-40-90 shooting split that no one else has ever done. Oh, good for him. You want to do that? Oh, we want to do the slight game?
Finals?
We want to do the slight game. The entire playoffs in 2019. Oh, even better. He did it all the way through. Anyway.
When he got hurt and he didn't finish?
Let him live.
I just wondering, because Giannis got hurt and he came back.
Boy, I done had a torn Achilles and
I'm saying.
Hyperextended knee. You want to play this game?
Small sample size, sir.
You want more? Okay. KD has 14 career playoff games of 40 points. Only second to one person, and his name ain't Giannis. KD has the second most 30-point playoff game, and it ain't second to Giannis. KD has 2 championships. Two. How many Giannis got? One. 2 finals MVP. How many Giannis got? One. I'm not trying to slight Giannis. I'm just listening to Giannis. Won't you listen to Giannis? You understand him? He said KD better. Why are you up here trying to champion for him?
So, I may be a prisoner of the moment, but you're a prisoner of offense and scoring alone. I don't know why. You're a defender.
Oh, you don't know why?
You're a defender, but...
You know who wins the game? The one with the most points. That's why I'm...
What stops you from scoring points? I don't know,
missing
5
shots.
blocks? Or blocking
KD
shots.
gets more blocks than him.
The last time KD had 5 blocks in a game was 2018, sir.
I don't give a damn because he does it every night.
February 21st.
Better averages.
In a regular season. Stop talking to me about these meaningless or less meaningful accomplishments. KD averaged 35 points in a series, a semifinal series in which he lost. He lost to the current best player in the world. Giannis gave you 35 points. He gave you 50 points last night. When the last time KD scored 50 in NBA Finals? I'll wait.
Why
I'm going to be waiting for a while.
When the last time Giannis won 2? I'll wait a while because it ain't happening next year. It ain't happening for a minute. Dog, KD is 3rd all time in the scorers list in the playoffs in history. Giannis ain't on the list, brother. It's okay when you first get your... This is us.
Compare apples to apples.
I'm going to compare us fruit to fruit. I've been here,
You
dog.
have.
I've been here.
Yes, sir.
I've been in the game for 2 decades talking this. Then I played a decade.
You did?
That's 3 decades of doing this. Yeah, Acho, you just got here.
I did.
And I admit, you kind of like Giannis. Damn, what is he up to? This boy is killing it. But don't forget about the equity and the longevity of
here
a
he
KD,
goes, America.
baby. Gotta bring that work. You microwave mentality monster. That's who you are. You got to give all of Giannis's credit, and you have to spread it out too much, too often. He did it this year. What happened last year? What happened the year before? What happened the year before?
So,
he came up short.
But here's the thing. The question is not who has had the better career.
Okay.
If you ask me,
who's the best player?
Who's had the better career? KD has had the better career.
Who's the best player?
He's also been in the league longer.
What about who's the best player?
Giannis.
Giannis said it wasn't him. Why are you saying it is?
Because Giannis came out there and said, if I focused on the present, that's my pride. If I focus on the past, that's my ego. If I focus on right here and right now, that's humility. Giannis focuses on humility. KD focuses on pride and ego.
KD didn't say anything.
Now, KD a beast, but we have reports of KD going to reporters in private saying, don't ever compare me to so-and-so. We don't have reports of Giannis doing that.
Because he can't be compared to him. He better not say that.
We have reports of Giannis this morning asking, please and thank you to Chick-fil-A people at the window so he can record them on Instagram Live. That's Giannis. That is the Giannis. Giannis is humble. Of course he's going to say somebody better than him. Of course.
You just said that you have been humble in a moment and it was false humility.
Yes, sir.
How you know it ain't the same with Giannis then in terms of going to Chick-fil-A? It better not be a Sunday because it's closed.
I agree it is false humility.
Okay, so which one is it? Is he being real or is he being fake? If he's being fake, then we got a whole nother conversation about you guys.
Let's have that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
have a fake conversation. Giannis is better than KD. That's a fake conversation.
The
real one is that I don't understand your lack of respect for your own brethren from University of Texas.
KD's best game in the playoffs was his 49-17 game. Giannis's best game in the playoffs was better than KD's best game in the playoffs, and it was in a bigger game than KD's game in the playoffs.
Has he had more
Here
of them?
ends the lesson.
Has he had more of them? It's okay, Acho. You just showed me that you would pick your pride of your nation over your school's pride. Oh, I'm telling UT on you. And KD, come get him. Snipe him up, easy money.